Now let's shift gears to the ongoing political turmoil in Rivers State. The Federal High Court in Abuja has just dealt a significant blow, blocking the federal government from releasing monthly allocations to the state. Justice Joyce Abdulmalik's ruling specifically targets the central bank, preventing Governor Fubara from accessing funds from the consolidated revenue account. But what's behind this move? Speaker Martins Amewule, you recall, and 26 other lawmakers took the governor to court, citing non-compliance with a previous court order to represent the 2024 budget. They also allege that Governor Fubara has continued to make unauthorized withdrawals from the consolidated revenue funds of Rivers State in breach of Section 120 of the Constitution. Joining me now on the program is lawyer and former chairman, the Gema Local Government Area in Rivers State, Sugbayi Eli, and also Publicity Secretary, APC Caretaker Committee, Chibuike Nkenga. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us on the program this evening. Let me begin with you, Mr. Eli. Justice Joyce Abdulmalik's ruling has stopped the CBN from releasing monthly financial allocations to the Rivers State government. How do you respond to claims that perhaps Governor Fubara's actions breached the Constitution?
I wouldn't agree with respect to those who have opinion, except we are operating two different constitutions in Nigeria. First, let me say I'm delighted that we have come to a point where justice is very swift in Nigeria. Justice Joyce Abdulmalik took this application on Friday, and by today, judgment was ready and delivered. I think I commend her. I wish that all of the justices of this country, in the course of this country, would be that efficient and straight to the point. Maybe we can make more progress. But what cases where matters are pending in court for years on end. A case in point is one that is especially amusing as we deal with this issue. Martins Amewule and others filed the suits before the Federal High Court in Abuja, as they always do, in the famous case of Martins Amewule and 26 others, against INEC and others. That matter was before Justice Donato Okorowo, and then adjourned the last time by him after he granted the interim orders to January 24th of this year. And then the law was elevated to the Court of Appeal. And then the matter was assigned to Justice Peter Odolifu of the Federal High Court Abuja. We want to ask, why is that matter not moving? Why is it stalled until now? There are fundamental issues about an affidavit deposed by Martins Amewule stating the grounds for his defection from the APC, from PDP to the APC. Now, that's the fundamental issue we have to interrogate in this matter.
It's all right.
So we're talking about the Constitution.
Allow me to interrupt you very quickly, Mr. Ila, and I hope that you're not suggesting that certain cases are being intentionally delayed or fast-tracked at the court as a lawyer yourself. But I want to bring to your remembrance quickly, because of time, the Court of Appeal judgment that dismissed Governor Fubara's appeal regarding the 800 billion naira budget passed by 5 members of the Rivers State House of Assembly. You don't think this ruling validates concerns about what some have called executive overreach and disregard for constitutional procedures?
Now, I think we're mixing up issues here with respect. The judgment that came from the Appeal Court is, I wrote from decision in Rivers House of Assembly against National Assembly and others, filed by Amewule. That matter was a consent judgment at the trial court for Justice James Omotosho. The governor had withdrawn from that suit at the instance of the president. The question we should ask is, why did the other party not withdraw? So what the people did was interrogate the issue of who was going to appeal this. What was the grounds for which the governor was going to appeal? Because he wasn't the party anymore. It was a consent judgment. Now that matter did not interrogate him about the infection. What brought from it? The major problem we'll have here is that, look, you're asking the governor to obey the law. Some people broke the law and are going away when we're helping them to get away with it.
All right.
What we're talking about now is to try for perjury. But People who said they defend the APC, something they say they don't defend. Now, until we interrogate that issue, and as I said, this judge, Milord, had this matter on Friday. By today, shall deliver the judgment. Kudos to her. And I'm commending every judge to move at that pace.
All right. Mr.
So
Eli, hold your thought for a minute. Let me bring in Publicity Secretary of the APC Caretaker Committee, Chibike Ikenga. Mr. Ikenga, thank you for joining us as well. I'm wondering what the APC stance is on the potential consequences of this ruling on River State development and economic stability. I mean, if they don't get the money, what happens to the people?
Okay, thank you for having me on your program, and welcome, Mr. Soboyelai. In focus is a proper thing to do. It's a consequential judgment, because you'd recall that Justice Omotosho, like my colleague had said, gave a judgment, a sound one for that matter, wherein, amongst other things, the judge did say that the budget should be presented to the Martin Samewule-led River State House of Assembly, that is the legally supported House of Assembly. The government of River State blatantly disobeyed it and went ahead to procure another court order within River State High Court, which gave the governor the powers to present the budget to 3 persons. And now this matter went up to Court of Appeal, and then Court of Appeal ruled that the Martin Samewule-led House of Assembly is the properly constituted House of Assembly, and further directed the governor to represent the budget to the Martin Samewule-led House of Assembly, and that in the eyes of the law, there is no other state House of Assembly other than the one presided over by Martin Samewule, and therefore that the budget 2024 appropriation bill should be submitted, resubmitted or represented to them. And the government of River State equally, the next day, came out and said they were presenting a list of commissioners and other government appointees. So that same 3-man committee that the Court of Appeal validated that they do not have any locus to answering members of the Assembly, other than that of Martin Samewule. As a consequence, after the government refused to represent the budget, they were still spending the funds, our Commonwealth, without appropriation, which is against the prescriptions of the Constitution and other financial regulations. And for that matter, the River State House of Assembly under Martin Samewule went further to the court to ask that the court must compel obedience to the judgment of the Court of Appeal. It was on the basis of that the judgment from Joyce Abdulmalik was given compelling or a consequential judgment to say that failure to represent the budget, you cannot spend further funds, you cannot draw funds from the consolidated fund any longer, pending when the budget or appropriation bill is properly presented and passed before that can happen. So we are in support of that. We believe that that's rule of law. We believe that laws must be respected. We believe that we live in a nation, we're a nation of laws and a state of laws. And that if we continue to thrive on impunity, particularly executive impunity, it's a recipe for crisis. And of course, you know that development has been retarded in River State because of the rascality, because of the government of River State's penchant for disobedience to court orders, court judgments, and court pronouncements. And then the government as well, we go ahead to impugn the character of the justices and the judiciary. And that's very unfortunate. So we must obey the rule of law. We must ensure that whatever we do is according to the dictates of the Constitution as prepared. More so, the governor, who is the head of the executive, who runs the state, took an oath of office and oath of allegiance, which he swore to protect the Constitution and do things in line with the provisions of the Constitution.
I hear you clearly, Mr. Ekenga.
Refusing to obey court judgments is clearly an affront on the Constitution.
All right. It doesn't cease to amaze me the way politicians, choose to interpret court judgments differently. Prior to your contribution, Mr. Eli did not see the correlation between the Court of Appeal judgment and the recent one from the Federal High Court as it regards instruction to the CBN. It's amazing how you also have chosen to see it differently. But as we speak now, gentlemen, a panel of the National Judicial Council is probing judges involved in conflicting judges on political cases in Rivers State. And the CJN has also ordered that the report be submitted this week. The Chief Judge of the Rivers State High Court is also to appear before the NJC.